Who's there? God.
The next video comes from a man named Tim Saver, a night shift security guard working at a private facility located on an excavation site. Strange things had been reported there, but no one else was willing to take on the lonely night rounds, except for Tim. One evening, while investigating a water leak in an abandoned section of the facility, he captured something truly unsettling. Watch closely.
I was investigating a water leak and had tracked the source to a damaged AC system in this abandoned unit. The entity manifests near the end of the video.
What the fuck? No way. No fucking way. Oh, shit.
As Tim approaches one of the closed doors, he spots what appears to be a pair of feet standing behind it. Startled, he quickly reaches for his crowbar and kicks the door open, only to find the space completely empty. Weeks pass, but the strange activity doesn't stop. In fact, it gets worse.
Please protect me, God. I guess we're doing this. Hello? Shit. What the fuck? Whoa. Who's there? Oh, God. What the hell? Hey. Oh, shit.
One night, the mannequins stored in the facility begin to move on their own, rattling and shifting in eerie ways. Once again, when Tim investigates, there's no one there who could be responsible. But that night was far from over.
Hello? you.
Later on, Tim encounters something far more terrifying. He catches a glimpse of deformed hands gripping the edge of a wall, attached to a dark gray face with grotesque features. Despite the intense fear, when Tim searches the area, he finds no one. He later explains that the security camera wasn't able to capture it clearly, but he could see it with his own eyes, which is why he hesitated to turn his flashlight on until after the figure vanished. As Tim's contract at the facility neared its end, the most chilling encounter occurred. On his final night, he managed to capture a much clearer view of the entity. A pale, haunting face appeared in the same spot where the shadowy figure had been seen before. It stared directly at Tim, sending him running. Thankfully, this was his last shift, but the real question is whether the entity will stay behind or follow him home. Could this be evidence of a truly haunted facility, perhaps disturbed by the excavation work? That's for you to decide. This next video comes from the YouTube channel Urbex Hill, where urban explorer Chris takes on what he describes as one of the most dangerous adventures of his life. Venturing deep into a seemingly endless and maze-like tunnel hidden within a dense forest, Chris decides to brave the darkness alone. At first, the tunnel appears uneventful, but as he pushes further inside, the passage grows increasingly narrow and claustrophobic. The sound of rushing water grows louder with each step, until suddenly, a bone-chilling scream echoes through the tunnel, freezing him in place. As Chris scans the pathway ahead, his flashlight reveals something truly disturbing. Two creatures with glowing eyes peer out from behind a corner. Their forms are barely visible, almost transparent, blending into the surroundings. But as one of them turns to flee, the unmistakable splash of water beneath its feet confirms that these beings are not figments of his imagination. The footage leaves us questioning, what exactly did Chris encounter in these tunnels? Could this be the hidden dwelling of something not meant to be found? Let me know what you think. This next video was captured in Florida, after a group of friends and family decided to spend an evening experimenting with a Ouija board. However, in their excitement, they reportedly forgot to properly close the session, a crucial step to prevent lingering spirits. As a result, they believe they may have accidentally opened a portal, inviting something into their home. Just days later, strange events began unfolding, prompting them to set up a camera in hopes of capturing the paranormal activity. And what they recorded is nothing short of chilling. The first sign of trouble is a door suddenly slamming shut, followed by a fleeting glimpse of a dark, shadowy figure darting across the camera's view. Moments later, the camera itself begins to shake violently before falling over on its own. In another clip, an eerie, transparent figure can be seen gliding across the frame, but perhaps the most unsettling part of the footage is the persistent sound of heavy, ragged breathing echoing throughout the recordings. What makes it even more disturbing is that the breathing doesn't sound human. Since the camera remains stationary and we don't get a complete view of the room, it's difficult to definitively say whether this is genuine or staged. So, for now, the final verdict is up to you. In this next video, a man was tasked with renovating an old house that had been abandoned for over a decade. From the moment he stepped inside, he described feeling an overwhelming sense of unease, even catching a brief glimpse of something moving in the shadows. Initially, he shrugged it off as his imagination playing tricks on him, but when he returned alone to continue his work, it became clear that something else was inside that house.
Estoy aquí en la casa de remodelación. Acabo de rellenar, hicimos este shower y esto. Desde hace rato vengo escuchando un llanto como de niño. Oigan. Pero el pedo es de que aquí en la casa esta pues, no hay, están todos los cuartos vacíos. Y me da miedo ir al basement, pero a ver, deja checar, porque allá afuera no hay nada. Hola. La ver... No hay nada. Güey, no mames. No mames.
While working, he suddenly heard the soft cries of a baby echoing from the basement, an area that should have been completely empty. Driven by curiosity and a growing sense of dread, he decided to investigate. As he entered one of the rooms below, a loud knock echoed from the walls, startling him so much that he immediately turned to flee. As he ran, the sound of something heavy falling followed behind him, adding to the terror of the moment. Whether this encounter was real or an elaborate hoax, one thing is certain: exploring abandoned buildings alone is never a good idea, especially when you have no idea what history lingers in the walls.